Adolescents and young adults represent a growing share of the number of people living with HIV and AIDS in Ghana. Recent data published by the Ghana AIDS Commission shows out of over 19,900 new infections recorded in 2018, 16,614 were adolescents and young adults between the ages of 15 and above. Ahead of World AIDS Day, we're raising awareness about the virus. So why don't you join me as we have a conversation with Alice Asante, who's a counselor at West African AIDS Foundation, and Dr. Kofi Odoy-Labi, medical doctor at the International Healthcare Center. Now, before we start the conversation, why don't we bring back the story of 22-year-old Mabena? Not her real name, but she discovered she was HIV positive after visiting the hospital for antenatal treatment at the age of 17. Now, she shared her story in our Hotline documentary, My Status. It was produced by Faustina Safo. Here's an excerpt.
The slums of Ashaman is where 22-year-old Mabena grew up. Mabena's mother is a petty trader, and for reasons unclear to Mabena, her father left home and never came back. Saddled with the responsibility of catering for her children, Mabena's mother spent most of her day at the market. At age 15, Mabena was already acquainted with the nightlife, drinking, smoking, and partying at nightclubs. At 16, she had her first sex.
My sister, and I call Ashaman Estates. I call boy, no, a bra, also a me. And I'll cast it to a better. I'm see you, dear Matty, or so about the woman who's young for.
Months later, Mabena realized she was pregnant.
I call community hospital. No mamma direction, they say, member and see, I'm not sure letter mamma say member and see. I will have to, young markets. Mamma de bar and see, and I'm not checking. More checking, no more catch them say, Minya, and me a friend saying. And more one need it's no mammy drew. It's in Kakana, oh, mammy drew, away.
Until her pregnancy, Mabena did not know her status and never bothered to get tested. She tells me she had heard of the virus but didn't know it was real.
Oh, Charlie, that's my friend over there. Hey, Azoto! Hey, Azoto! What's up? Charlie, how? Charlie, did you go for the test we talked about the other time? Oh,
yeah, man, I do them simple.
Oh, you do them?
Oh, I do them.
Hey, Azoto!
I do them.
Charlie, this is great. Oh, guys, pardon. This is my friend Azoto, another bold, wise person who is just taking the HIV test.
Wow! Commercials like these are supposed to sensitize young girls like Mabena about the need to get tested. But over the years, awareness campaigns seem to have declined.
The Ghana AIDS Commission is not sleeping. We are working in spite of all the challenges that we have. Media is an important partner in this. And we will be happy to work with the media to intensify the prevention campaigns.
Following strict medical procedures, Mabena's child came out negative. He is now 4 years old. Her partner, also a carrier, chose to be by her and support the child. According to the 2018 report by the Ghana AIDS Commission, there are 335,000 people living with HIV and AIDS in Ghana. The Commission, however, envisaged the number could be more, as there are still young people who do not know their status.
All right, now let's engage in a quick conversation about this issue, and we're joined in the studio by our guests. And this is a Hotline documentary, was produced by my colleague Faustina, but here to help us understand what this is all about, we have here with us Alice Asante. She's a counselor at West African AIDS Foundation, and Gideon Adjaka, who's an HIV focal person at the International Health Care Center. Now, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. Now, what explains this rather large proportion of young people being identified with HIV/AIDS in recent times?
So let me start. So first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity. I feel there is a large proportion of individuals, especially adolescents, because we are back to the stage where we are not having much conversations around HIV/AIDS, especially with young adults. In the past, most of the things that has happened has been pictures of scary people having AIDS here and there, and so at some point we have limit that, and so now young adults sometimes do not even believe that HIV exists.
So you think what it is that people just are not sensitized to it anymore? They don't even believe it exists?
Yes, aside people probably not believing that HIV exists, we are not doing much around issues when it comes to how do I get HIV, especially within our schools. You know, our education systems are structured in a way that we are focusing much on issues around prevention, etc. And then because of our education systems, how they are structured, we are not talking much around are these adolescents really having sex? If they are having sex, do they know how they are protecting themselves? Do they know how they can prevent themselves from getting HIV? So young adults are actually doing one thing in the dark, and then they are doing one thing in the light. So they are talking to parents, they pose as angels, but then behind this, they are actually having sex, and they are being exposed to risk.
Now, Alice, you've been talking to people as part of your job. Now, tell me, I mean, what do you seem to pick up in terms of how much young people even know about HIV and AIDS?
Right, thank you. The young people, most of them know about HIV/AIDS, but they thought it's far away from them, unless they are being tested positive. That's whereby they've been taking HIV/AIDS within us. So the only thing we can do for the young adult is to focus on more of education. That is doing the education in the area of HIV, so that they can also know much on how the prevention of HIV they can also.
Do you find that there are a lot of people, whether young or otherwise, who today have the virus, but it takes a while for them to discover that they have it, during which time they may quite well spread that infection?
Yes. So the thing is that people can stay healthy for so many years, and over time in our work, we've come across people that do not even know their HIV status. Either they fell sick, they ended up at the hospital, and then per all clinical diagnosis, the doctor requested for an HIV test before you will get to know that these people have HIV. And sometimes they might not even know that the clinical features exhibiting could be related to HIV/AIDS. So we have come across a lot of people that are actually healthy. They don't even know that they are HIV. So we actually have people we call healthy carriers. So over a period of time, once their immune system is very strong and they are not showing any symptoms, they live all their life. And so then if they engage in unprotected sex with other people within this period, they have the possibility of infecting people.
Right. Okay. So what's the way forward? What needs to happen so that, first of all, we can start turning back this trend and reducing the numbers of infected every year, but also to make sure that we know a bit more and can educate people a bit more to stop the spread of it?
So one of the things is to actually intensify education and awareness creation, which we are already doing. We need to go back to the system where on our TVs, on our radios, we're seeing very scary pictures of people living with AIDS by then. And then now that we have people who are HIV positive and are healthy, we need to intensify that. We know that currently, for some years now, Ghana's Commission have been using what we call the heart-to-heart ambassadors. So these are people who are very healthy, who pose on TV, who talk to people about their life experiences. These are the things we need to intensify. We need to carry these conversations into our homes, into our churches, into the community. That is why, as part of World AIDS Day this year, the theme is communities making a difference. And so communities need to start making a difference by talking widely about HIV. Most of the times I say we need to talk about HIV just the way we talk about politics or football.
Alice?
And then also we should encourage people to know their HIV status, because people are so scary to do the test and to know their status. So we have to encourage and then also help them to know their HIV status so that they can, if they are positive, they can go on treatment and then they will be focused on whatever that they are doing and live.
Fantastic stuff. I really appreciate both of you coming. I'll give you the opportunity, if you have final words, anything you think Ghana should know about the work that you're doing and the situation with HIV/AIDS in our country.
So what I would simply tell is that HIV is real. However, there are also treatment for HIV. If you do not know your status, seize the opportunity coming Sunday, which is 1st December, to get tested. There will be various activities across the whole entire country. The biggest of World AIDS Day commemoration will be a trade fair, and the West Africa AIDS Foundation and the International Healthcare Center will be screening people. Walk to trade fair and then get a free HIV test done, because there is life after HIV.
Wonderful.
And this is the time everybody have to know his or her status, so that we can all move together and then we be healthy and strong to our future.
Thank you, Alice and Gideon. We appreciate your time with us.